going to be my 4-week pregnancy vlog. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be making these again for baby number 3. It just seems surreal. I am just so excited. If you haven't seen my TTC update that I uploaded before this, I'll leave a link down below, and that kind of explains how we got to where we are here. It's been a year since we've been trying for baby number 3, but we're finally here, and I'm cautiously optimistic that that this is going to be a successful pregnancy. So I am just over the moon excited. Like I said, it's kind of still sinking in, but I thought I'd kind of give you guys details as to what my symptoms were leading up to my pregnancy test and dates and just things like that. And then yeah, I guess I'll start tracking my belly growth progress, which is obviously non-existent at this point, but I do want to document that. So let's get into week 4. Okay, so I think my due date is either March 31st or possibly April 1st. And it's the first time in all 3 of my pregnancies, it's the first pregnancy that I haven't been absolutely certain. And that is because I got a positive ovulation test, but not when you would typically get it. Normally, ovulation tests turn positive in the afternoon. So I'll usually test like later in the afternoon, and sometimes I'll test twice a day. But this past cycle on a Sunday, I remember specifically it was a Sunday, I tested kind of mid-morning and then kind of late afternoon. Both negative, assumed I hadn't ovulated yet. That was cycle day 16 or 15, so a little bit later than usual for me. The next morning, I just randomly had the urge to take an ovulation test, which is weird because normally, like I said, they don't turn positive till the afternoon. And I took a test and it was positive in the morning. And I was like, that's strange. I don't understand. Did I ovulate last night, or did the hormone register high enough last night and I just didn't take one late enough? I wasn't quite sure, so I tested a couple hours later because I thought maybe it would still be positive, and it was totally negative. So I kind of wondered if that was a true LH surge, if that was truly when I was about to ovulate, 24, 48 hours from that test or not. I really had no idea. But timing wise, we were right on for that kind of time frame, if that makes sense. I hope you guys are following me. So that being said, when I work out the dates, I think it's about March 31st or April 1st. And I'm also going off of pregnancy test strips because I'm kind of a pee on a stickaholic, self-diagnosed pee on a stickaholic. I just love testing to see when's the first possible time I could see a test turn positive. I usually get the dollar store ones for the online tests that are super, super cheap so that I can just use them and not feel so bad about it. So I started testing, I would say 7 DPO or so, but it's hard to tell. Like I say, I'm not exactly sure when I ovulated. And 9 DPO, which I'm going with in my head is 9 DPO in the morning, it was negative. And I actually woke up that day and had a giant emotional breakdown to my husband because I just assumed we were out again, and what didn't work that month. My last 2 pregnancies I found out at 8 DPO. So by 9 DPO I was like, okay, I think we're totally out. I can't believe we're going past the year mark now. This is just really hard. I had a big breakdown. I went to work that day, came home that night, I still had more tests, so I tested anyways, and I got the faintest line. I thought, is this just an evaporation line? So I used another one with the same sample, and it also came out with a faint line, so I thought, that's interesting. And the next morning, sure enough, it got darker, and then I've watched it get darker over the past week until my darkest today, which I also showed in my TTC update, but that's today, so I'm really, really happy with that. So yeah, that's kind of how I got to where I am now. I ended up calling the fertility clinic on Monday just to let them know that I was testing positive, because I actually had a test on Thursday of this week. Not a test, an appointment on Thursday of this week with them, and I wouldn't be needing that appointment if I was indeed pregnant. So I called to let them know that I wouldn't need that appointment, and she said they wanted to send me for blood work. So I had a blood work done on Monday, and I'm going back for it today, right after I stop filming today on Wednesday. Just to make sure that the numbers are doubling properly. And my HCG level on Monday was 100, and I think that's pretty standard. I was about 3 weeks 5 days pregnant at that point, or 3 weeks 6 days pregnant, so it was a pretty normal number, I suppose, but really what matters is the doubling rate. So I'm anxious to see how that turns out when I get the results back, hopefully today or tomorrow. She also told me that she's booking me for an early ultrasound, which I've never had before. With both my previous pregnancies, I never got an ultrasound until 20 weeks, the standard 20-week ultrasound, and that was it, the whole pregnancy. But because it's a fertility clinic, they have their own ultrasound machines and things like that, and because I was on a drug 2 months ago, Clomid, which increases your chances of multiples, mind you, I wasn't on Clomid this current month, they still wanted to send me for an ultrasound, so on August the 12th, I will be going in for a 7-week ultrasound. Now these videos are backlogged, so this probably is going up after August the 12th, but around my 7-week pregnancy vlog, I have pregnancy brain already, I can't think properly, but around that video you'll see the ultrasound results, and I am so excited to have an early ultrasound, just to be able, you should be able to see the heartbeat around that time, just that sense of relief that I hope to get from actually seeing it on the screen. I am really excited about that ultrasound. And the other thing I did on Monday was I contacted the midwife in our area. There is only one midwife kind of team. There's 5 of them. They work at the same office, but there's only one team that services the area that I live in and the hospital that I live nearby, and I really wanted to make sure to get midwives again because I had them for my previous 2 pregnancies and I absolutely loved having a midwife. My previous 2 pregnancies were hospital births, but I am strongly considering a home birth this time around, so that's another reason I wanted to call them ASAP, to make sure I got a spot, because I know that they fill up really quickly. I've heard of people that had later due dates, like if my actual due date were March 31st and I had called saying, you know, it's March 31st, they're already booked for March. So I went with April 1st so that, you know, I'm first in April. So yeah, luckily I did end up getting a spot, and my first midwife appointment is towards the end of August, and I can't wait to meet these new midwives, see what they're all about, and discuss a potential home birth. As for symptoms at this 4-week mark, there honestly hasn't been a ton. I made a list here in front of me, but there's definitely been months in the past where I could have sworn I was pregnant and was not. So symptom spotting is not always a good thing. This one I kind of kept my mind off it a little bit more. And the symptoms I'm going to read you were pretty much after I've actually had a positive pregnancy test until now. So I got a really early positive pregnancy test well before I missed my period. I only really missed my period either yesterday or today. But there definitely were some early signs and symptoms. First, being tired. I'm definitely tired. I think it's because I'm waking up super early in the morning. As soon as I wake up to pee, that's it. It's like my brain kicks on. I start remembering the fact that I'm pregnant and I can't stop thinking about it. So by the time 1 o'clock hits, I really need a nap, and I don't often nap, so that is not usually an option with 2 small kids at home, so I just end up being tired all day long. So yeah, being tired. The second is being emotional and moody. Like I said, on 9 DPO, had a complete nervous breakdown, which I haven't done in a very long time, but I'm attributing that to the fact that I was actually pregnant, so it's a little bit extra emotional. I'm also finding myself just quick to get frustrated, just a little bit more ramped up, I suppose. It's like I can feel the hormones each day that goes by. They come on a little bit stronger. It's like I'm definitely sensing them. With my last 2 pregnancies, I dealt with nausea really bad, losing between 10 and 20 pounds in the first trimester with both kids. Mind you, I was a lot bigger then, but still losing weight in the first trimester with both kids. And it always kicked in around the 5-week mark, and I'm 4 weeks and 1 day right now, and I can kind of sense that it's starting. Not the nausea, but like the food aversions. Just things aren't looking as appealing to me as they did. So I feel like that's going to come on, and I feel like in my 5-week vlog I'll be talking about that a lot more. What else? I noticed I don't know if there's anything to do with pregnancy, but I did deal with this a lot in my last 2. My sciatic nerve down kind of your butt to thigh area has been bothering me the past 2 days, 3 days, which is weird because obviously the baby's the size of a poppy seed right now. But I don't know, I feel like once you get pregnant, your body just starts remembering what it's like to be pregnant, and things start loosening and moving around. So I feel like that might be something. I also feel a cramping kind of down low, kind of like what round ligament pain feels like when you're growing, but I don't think my uterus is growing yet. It's just those kind of twingy feelings. And last thing I kind of noticed is just sudden hunger. Definitely sudden. I'll be fine, nothing will be interesting to me, I won't really be hungry, and then all of a sudden I'll be starving beyond starving and need to eat something right away. And as long as I eat something small, then I'm fine again. It's just really bizarre. So definitely sudden hunger. So yeah, I think that's about it for week 4. I will try and put a kind of starting belly picture thing at the end here so you can see the progression as we go along. I'm really anxious and hopeful that this is a successful, healthy pregnancy, and it's definitely on the back of my mind constantly, and it's one of the reasons we're waiting to upload these videos and hopefully waiting to tell the world. I really am bad at secrets, and I told my work at like 5 and 6 weeks last time. I really want to hold out till at least 10 to 12 weeks this time, telling my work and, you know, everyone on Facebook and things like that. But I probably will be telling close family members sooner than later, just because if something were to happen, I would be telling them anyways, so I'd rather have their support right from the beginning. So yeah, these will be delayed, but hopefully once you see this one, I will start uploading the rest of them. And I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! Alright, so here's my 4-week, 1-day belly. Obviously, nothing really happening yet. This is from the front here. I do get more bloated in the evenings, but nothing crazy to mention. That's from the front. So yeah, it's 4 weeks. I'll back up a bit so you can see. There we go. Anyways, that is my 4-week, 1-day belly.